Bev Buds.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you're listening, and wherever you're listening from. This is the Bev Buds. I would say as normally, but it's not normal.
It's not normal. Can I say before we move on, your good morning is getting longer and longer every time you do a podcast. No, it's different because Dan's not here.
He's not here.
He's absent. It's just you and I, Trent.
It is. So things could get a little bit...
They could get a bit saucy. Did you know what this feels like? I was thinking about it. It kind of feels like not until you set up the cameras, I didn't really think about it, but it kind of feels like when we'll try to do our afternoons with Trent and Kyle show back in high school.
Jeez, what a throwback.
For that one episode we did.
Two, actually.
Oh, we did do two.
Second one was never released.
No, wasn't it?
No.
Well, we just haven't... Is there actually just an afternoon episode out there? What did we do for it? Do you remember?
We were at school at the time when we filmed it.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, we had like three guests on.
Guests.
We had segments and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Trent Reardon.
I'm Kyle Wright. And absent today from the roll call is Daniel Gray.
So I got the bevies this time.
You did? Now, what did you get? Is it a pail?
Before I go on, two things.
Yeah.
One, I want to apologise, Kyle, because I know you were keen on having some cruises today.
Listen, we just got given a request for cruises. I didn't say I was keen. I'm glad you found something better in the shop.
I've gone something a bit left of field.
Yeah.
And secondly, unfortunately, it is another pale ale.
Is it actually?
But it's a bit of a different take on a pale ale.
Here we go.
So it's called New England IPA.
Okay.
So it's New England, but it's basically a spin-off of an American IPA.
Right.
And it is from Dainton Brewery again.
Oh,
but this one is called Blood Orange.
Yeah. Okay, Dainton Brewery. What was the one we did of there? That was a while ago, wasn't it?
So that was the...
Jungle Juice?
Jungle Juice,
it was, yeah. Okay.
With a fancy can, so...
Blood Orange.
Yeah, I walked into the bottle shop. It was... it's quite a drab day out there. Bit of cloud cover, so...
In the rain, yeah.
This really popped to me. The nice vibrant orange can.
Dainton Brewery's number... Is that the first bev that's twice featured on our
That's
pod?
Right.
Nice. Thank you. So, Dainton Brewery.
Yep.
I'll read the blurb. It says, "We believe in freedom of choice, that everyone has the right to stand apart, be different, and to be themselves. We craft innovative beer for those that choose their own path. Drink different." Now, I would add here, drink different. Drink Dainton.
Oh, yes. Maybe you need to get a gig on their marketing team, Kyle.
Yes. 1.7 standard drinks. Now, Trent, I don't know about you, but do you plan on getting me drunk so we can bitch about Dan while he's not here?
Don't tell him that.
No. How was your weekend, Trent?
It was quite good, actually.
Yeah.
Just have a first sippy boy of this.
Not bad. I think I like it more than the Jungle Juice one.
Yeah.
I think.
I would say, though, that I was thinking it'd be a bit stronger on the orange flavour.
Yeah, it's quite just...
It's
tastes
mild.
like a pale,
yeah,
like an IPA.
but it's still nice. Yeah, my weekend was pretty good.
What'd you get? I saw on Instagram you went to the footy.
I did go to the footy.
How's that?
First time back in over a year, because it couldn't go last year.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Were you at the G?
No, I was at Marvel
Nice.
Stadium.
Yep.
Didn't see any superheroes though, so that was a bit of a letdown. But no, my voice, it's still a little bit recovering. It's still a little bit off today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely need a few more games under my belt before my voice gets back to its usual self.
Yeah. Okay. No, fair enough.
What about you, Kyle?
What did I do? I did nothing. I just enjoyed myself. I had today off as well, and I just enjoyed it.
Yeah. Speaking of doing nothing, I must thank you. I mean, we weren't originally going to do this podcast without Dan.
No.
But you messaged me asking, should we do this
We
thing?
should.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
And yeah, I've got to send my thanks to you because you rescued me from laying in a bit of
despair.
A bit of despair.
Cryptocurrency go down.
No, I was actually laying on the couch covered in Easter egg tinfoil, watching random people do celebrity impersonations on YouTube.
Can I make a confession?
Sure.
I hoard Easter eggs.
In
an unhealthy way, and Rose has had a go for it. Johnny's threatened to eat something. I'll show you a picture after the pod, but I've got like a cupboard full of Easter eggs. And when I say full, I mean rows of bunnies and eggs that I've
really?
Yeah, well, I feel like I want to get enough for it to last months after Easter.
Last year into the winter.
Yeah.
So, like, how long does it take? Like, do you get through them reasonably quickly?
Well, after Easter, I'll probably just go once a week. You know, when I
Yeah.
feel like a chocky, I'll have one. But you could say I am nesting them for the winter, much like a rabbit may do.
hoping they'll hatch. Well, yeah, I think my dad has a similar sort of thing going on inside his head. I mean, but his is pretty extreme. I mean, he, believe it or not, still has some Easter eggs that we've given him, I'd say, almost 10 years ago.
He does it. Well, he keeps them. Surely it's off by now, right?
I would not eat them, and I hope he never does.
No.
But I think he keeps them because they're special ones. Like, I think we got him like a Holden racing car one that was
Some
like...
special. I give them to people I don't like. Now, just because Dan's not here...
Right.
And we'll get back to a new segment of things we hate about Dan. I'd like to continue our tradition and do a top 5.
Sure.
So last week you gave me a top 5 list to do, which was sequels that are better than the original.
That's right.
And I thought about this a lot, and I feel like the lists, like if you look online and you Google like best movie sequels, they didn't really like give like the real sequels that are better. It was all like the Academy Award sequels.
Okay,
It was it wasn't really my favourites. Anyway, so mine might be a bit off.
Right.
But I've got 5 here for you. So number 5, we'll jump into probably the most obscure one, is Evil Dead 2.
Right.
Now you and I, we watched Evil Dead. I think I showed you it.
Yeah.
Which is... So Evil Dead 1 is like really a grounded horror.
Yeah.
And then Evil Dead 2 just is like it's like an LSD fever dream, really. It's just crazy, guy stuck in a house. Is he hallucinating? That sort of thing.
Okay.
So I really liked Evil Dead 2 because I don't think I've ever seen a movie quite like it.
And it was pretty different to the first one.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Now, and I wanted to ask you as well, sequels. Is that movie number 2, or do you mean is it okay if
it's okay if the sequel is based on
like the 4th movie in the series or something? Yeah,
sure.
Because number 4, I'm going to say Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, right.
I think it's better than the first one, just for a few obvious points. But no, I loved it.
Yeah,
and I know you're an avid Mad Max fan as well.
It's interesting to think of them in
the same
sort of universe, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'd also say though I liked Road Warrior more than 1. I loved 1. But I think...
Because, I mean, if 1 came out in, the 80s, maybe, and Fury Road didn't come out till the late 2010s...
Yeah.
Then, what's the gap, you reckon? Is that one of the longest,
between, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's 4 of them. And when was the last one made? The 90s? Mad Max, the Thunderdome one? Yeah, I don't know. But I like them all.
Yeah.
But I think I like 2 and then Fury Road the most.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Number 3 was Spider-Man 2, 2004. So that's the one with Doc Ock. Dr. Octopus.
Okay.
Peter's struggling to make it as a college student pizza delivery guy, whatever he is. And I can't remember what the side story was with Mary Jane. Is she dating Harry or something?
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
I don't know. I like Spider-Man 2. Number 2 on my list is Kill Bill Volume 2.
Right. That's a bit controversial because it's basically a continuation of the first film.
Right. So I put that on there. I knew it was a bit cheeky to put on there, but I think I like Kill Bill Volume 2 more than Volume 1.
Yeah, okay.
Now, Final, I did let it slip last week.
I think I know where this is going.
My favourite sequel that I think is better than the original is Shrek 2. And I'm gonna stand by that.
If you weren't gonna mention it, I was gonna mention it, Cole. It definitely deserves to be at the number 1 spot.
Do you speak of Kill Bill, do you have a favourite Tarantino movie? Because they're very out there.
They are
but
very
I feel like
out
everyone's
there.
got their favourite.
They do. Mine, I think you would know, certainly The Hateful Eight.
It's Hateful Eight. Okay.
Yeah, very similar to Reservoir Dogs, but I just I love the Western genre. I just love the way it slow burned and they was all set in that one room.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Because I couldn't tell. I know Dan loves Django.
Yeah,
and I feel I could see you being a Django man.
Yeah, I was until Hateful Eight came out. That's for sure.
Yeah, because for me it's Inglourious Basterds. Have you seen? Yeah. I don't know, something about it that's so. I love it.
And I love how he twisted history.
He twisted history, and it's the only movie I think I've seen where they use language as a weapon. It's so important in that movie who can speak what language.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think I've ever seen that sort of thing. So I think
definitely.
But there's my list.
That's the least. So do you have a top 5 to give out?
I don't have a top 5 to give out. I completely forgot.
That's
I'm going to
all right.
send you a top 5 during the week.
Sure.
I'm going to make it a heartfelt one, a hard one, and get back to you with that. That's the only segment that we've kept.
That's right.
For the whole podcast.
I really hope people like this segment.
Because they have to listen to it every week.
So recently, I bought a manual car.
Okay.
Right?
Did you learn in manual?
I didn't. I learned in auto, so I sort of self-taught manual a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, recently bought one. Love it. Love driving around, and it's so much fun. But I am finding one thing very difficult to do.
Okay.
Eating. Eating while driving.
Yeah,
it's
right.
It's just like I've never valued having a spare hand so much in my life.
Did you get eating from driving? I don't know. We both went to the same uni.
Yeah.
It's about an hour away.
Yeah.
And if you had a class that finished at 5, you'd get peak hour home. Like 5 to 6, you'd probably be looking at an hour 20 home. Sort of thing. Did you get eating and driving from driving home from uni?
I think I did. I think if I really think about it, I definitely did.
No, so do I. I think I did. I think that's where I learned. Like, you know, and you can sort of test things that work easier while you're eating or driving.
That's where this was going. I mean, finding it hard to eat, but even in an auto, I guess, what's the hardest thing to eat in the car?
Can I tell you the worst thing I've eaten in the car?
Right.
This came up on the weekend. So I used to live an hour and a bit away from work. I lived up in the city and I worked down in Dramana.
Yeah.
And I would experiment sometimes with what I could eat in the car. Sometimes it would be because, oh crap, I forgot to go shopping, so I'll just have this for brekkie. And I would often sleep in. Anyway, I've tried eating cereal.
No. Oh my God.
And I put a jar of milk and then I didn't pour it in straight away because I wanted to make sure I was on a freeway. Cereal.
Well, you thought about it.
That's the hardest thing I think I've eaten.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the hardest thing would be soup, I guess. But
cereal's
a similar sort of thing. You got a bowl, you got it sloshing
with
around.
Liquid, yeah.
I guess a way around that, though, you could have...
You could
have milk. You could have milk in a jar, in a cup with a lid on it, and then eat a handful of cereal and then drink the milk, right?
It would taste like bird food. Imagine eating like Just Right or something with that. It'd be so dry. So I learned about something new this week, Trent, that I thought you'd be interested in, because I do know you've dabbled in the crypto world this week.
I have.
So
much to the disappointment of Lauren, my wife.
Rose got like a free $20 for the crypto.
Yeah,
thing.
right.
And she put it on a coin called Rose.
Oh.
And it just changed completely. And it was just gone. No, well, so I've found this thing. It's quite interesting. It's called Earth2.
Earth2?
And so it's kind of like, I feel like it's made for people that love that crypto stuff. But it's fascinating. So basically what it is it's a program where you've got like, let's say you got Google Maps.
Right.
You've got the world, and you can scroll wherever you want around the world, but the world is divided into 1 by 1 meter grids.
Right.
Maybe 10 by 10 meter grids, but little squares. And each square...
You can buy.
Right. And you like sort of grow your little area.
Yeah, okay.
And there's different areas, like if you buy airports or stuff that's important, that's deemed important by the... they're worth more money.
Right.
So like, let's say you want to buy like New York land. Let's say that might be like $50 a square.
Yeah.
Whereas I looked at my house here just out of curiosity and it was like $2 a square.
Yeah, okay.
And the idea is that the world will fill up with these squares and everyone's bought it and then the prices go up.
Yeah, okay.
And so it's kind of got that crypto feel to it, but it just seems so dodgy.
It's almost like an NFT like we were talking about last week.
Yeah, like it's just sort of... It's just, I don't know, it was an interesting sort of, it's a project that these guys are doing. And like already a lot of it's like taken. And I was just sort of got me thinking like, I don't know, it's just an interesting sort of thing I dabbled in.
Imagine like one person who's really rich just buys like the Earth.
The entire Earth, just ruins the entire ecosystem.
A couple of weeks ago, we got a question through our Instagram portal.
Yeah.
And it was from Shelley.
I did research on this week as well. Did you look it up as well?
I did.
Okay.
So the question she asked was, how does red wine lose its colour? Because she has come across these bottles of wine that she's got that is from the 60s.
Right.
So, for example, the one bottle she sent the photo to us was from 1966.
Right.
And it has lost its sort of redness.
Yeah, and I didn't know this was a thing until Shelley sent it to us. And then, I started looking into it as well. And, like, it seems... Did you get to the same conclusion?
I want to hear your explanation of why.
What I read was that red wine loses its colour as it ages due to two things.
Right.
Oxygen in the wine. And is it tannins? So tannins.
Tannins, yeah.
I don't know what tannins are.
So I think they're like a compound, it's called like phenolic compound.
Yeah, okay.
And they come from the skin to the grapes, the stems of the grapes. And over time, what happens with these tannins is they join together, right?
Okay, I didn't dig that far.
Yeah, so they join together.
Right.
And they drop out of suspension, it's called.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why in some cases in old wine, you'll have some sediment down the bottom.
Right.
And also the reason why the colour changes. I read too that experts say that the bottles shouldn't look like they're holding Coke. They should still have a little bit of redness to them.
Yeah, okay. Do you reckon it's undrinkable if it's not?
Well, they reckon it's a bit of a take it at face value, I guess. I mean, you've got like some of them are right. Like it's all right to drink.
Yeah.
You won't get sick or anything.
Right.
But the question is the taste. So some wines are going to taste really good, aged that much, and some wines aren't. But yeah, like time. So I read say time exaggerates the faults in the wine.
Right.
So if you've got a tiny fault in the wine, you wouldn't notice it when it first gets released. Yeah. But if you've left it for 50 or 60 years, you're going to notice.
You're going to notice a big fault. And I also I heard as well. I love that we've both done this. Shelley got both of our attention this week. So I also read that white wines go brighter and red wines lose their colour.
Yeah,
so white wines go more whiter or crispier.
Yeah.
Which I thought's weird as well.
Yeah.
Because you and I, we're not big wine drinkers.
No, not at all.
As you can tell by the podcast. We did Goon. Goon, is it? 2 wines. But yeah. No, it's interesting. Well, there you go, Shelley.
Yeah.
Your questions answered. Do you have anything else you need to add to that?
Anyone else have any scientific questions they'd like us to
Send
ask?
them in to Dan and he'll happily answer them. No, I'm glad that got solved because we can't have a question sent to us unanswered.
No. This week, in the last few days, I'd say the last day or two, Mr. Beast, a YouTuber, who some of you may know, he's very rich. In the past, he has given away lots of money.
Yep.
I think he started off just giving money to homeless people and that.
Right. For his videos?
Yeah, I think so. Or just anything that he owned, he'd sort of just want to give away.
Okay.
I think his tagline on a lot of his socials is he wants to make the world a better place. So that's what he's about.
Yep.
And for example, in the past, like he had this thing where he gave away $100,000 to entice people to quit their jobs.
Oh my God.
It was like quit your job and I'll give you $100,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you quit your job for $100,000?
Yeah. Would you? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Would you?
No.
I mean, no, I wouldn't.
No comment. Hope my work's not listening to this.
It's a good enticement. I mean...
It is.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that's enough
If you didn't like your job, it'd be good because you could take that money, use it to train yourself in doing something you want.
Yeah. But how low would you go with that though? Like 60 grand?
It'd have to be 100,
It'd have to be a year's salary plus.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's what would be my goal there. So he's just doing, so that's his thing now, giving that money.
So that was his thing.
Yeah.
So where I was going with this was that the last day or two, he ran this, I think, a year or two ago. Mm-hmm. It's called Finger on the App. And so the first one, so what it is it's a game he's created that's an actual app that you can download on your phone. Mm-hmm. And the idea is, it's like those competitions with the cars. Whoever can keep their finger on their phone the longest will win $100,000.
Do they have to charge their phone and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
And you start off with 3 lives, I think.
Yeah.
So you can take your finger off 3 times.
And this is for anyone in the world to do?
Anyone in the world to do.
Oh, my God, yeah.
So you can take your finger off 3 times, and that's all right.
Yeah.
You can also buy more lives with money.
Okay.
So
you have to go without sleeping.
yeah, well, potentially it depends on how many other players there are who want to keep their finger on.
Do you think there's anyone that would cheat and have you seen those things where someone's got like a sausage and they're using it to use as a touch screen on their phone?
So I'll get to that in a sec.
Yeah, okay.
But the first one went off with a few hitches. Mm-hmm. So in the end, I think he cut the game short.
Okay.
Like there's no actual definitive time, but I think for the first one, it got up to 70 hours. 70 hours.
Oh my god.
And then he cut it short. And I think about 4 people, maybe 4 to 7 people or something, split the prize.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that happened in the first one. And he decided to bring it back for a second time.
Yeah.
And I was just checking today because it's happening right now. And I think there was 4 people left the last time I checked.
Oh my god.
And
how much is the money, sorry?
100,000.
100,000, okay.
So we were talking about cheating.
Yeah.
There's 2 types of people, like 3 types of people. One, the first person is doing it properly.
Yeah.
And then you have people who have created bots, like apps to
just leave it pushing down. Sort
of. But so in order to counteract that, he's brought into the game bombs. So you have to move your finger away from the bomb, or else you lose a life.
That's cool.
So it's to keep you moving your finger around to stop the bots from just.
That's
thinking,
smart.
Yeah.
So then you have to actively keep doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some sort of mental torture there, right?
And then the other type of people, lots of people are actually using 3D printers with styluses attached to the finger.
Just to move it
and
around.
it's just moving around on the screen.
Right.
Yeah. So 4 people left, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to that, a couple of hours ago, there were 9 people left.
Okay.
Right. And Mr. Beast took to Twitter.
Yeah.
And he put out a tweet saying, to the 9 people that still have their finger on the app, if any of you take your finger off in the next 10 minutes, I'll give you $10,000. Would you? Knowing that there are only 8 other players.
I think I would. I think I would. 10 grand would be pretty tempting. What do you think? Would you keep doing it? Because you.
Because at that point, it had gone for a day and 9 hours, I think.
But would you be okay with being given 10 grand for 1 day's worth of work? Like 24 hours worth of work?
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty good. I think I'd take it. Would you?
I think I would too, yeah.
Like
3 people went, 4 people did, yeah.
So he's giving it to multiple people.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
in 10 minutes.
Do you know if the other people take it or not?
Nah. And it's very hard to get actual number on how many people are still in it.
Yeah.
I'm only going off the streams that are on YouTube at the moment.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
He seems to have too much money to know what to do with it. And he's doing these weird social experiments.
Imagine being able to
do that.
Imagine being able to make people like not sleep, not do anything with one hand for 2 days.
Yeah. I wonder if that didn't him at all. It must have. Like,
nah.
Well, Mr. Beast, if you're here, he asked, we'll take the 10,000. I want to talk to you about something, Trent. Not Dan, because he's not here.
Right.
I wanted to talk about Australian Werewolf in Melbourne. And we're having a premiere for it on the 10th of April.
Right. So you might want to enlighten people about what it actually is.
Yeah, so an Australian Werewolf in Melbourne is our 7th film.
7th?
Yep, 7th film. And basically we made it. The idea of it was when we went to lockdown last year, Dan, Nick and myself were living here.
Right.
And we were watching one night, we were watching just a bunch of old werewolf movies. And we thought, you know what? We could make a werewolf movie. So we came up with a script and then Dan moved out.
Yep.
And
which was helpful.
Forgot about it for ages. And one day, during the second lockdown.
Right.
I was cleaning my room and I found the script and I showed Nick it. And we were laughing at some of the lines. And we thought, you know what? This is in about August last year.
Yeah.
We thought, you know what? We're stuck at home together.
Yeah.
None of us can do anything else except work. We're all working, but except work and stay at home.
Yeah.
Let's make a movie.
Yeah.
And so we shot a movie, basically. I'd say about 90% of it was done during COVID. Yeah. So it was all shot around our house or up in the woods, just 5 kilometre radius away. Most of it. And then we did some stuff after the lockdowns eased to make it feel like a full movie. And yeah, so basically we've finished it and we're having a premiere for it.
Yeah.
And it's coming up on Bacon Squash and everything. So I thought I'd just talk about it just a little bit, just to get some people excited for it.
Give it a bit of a plug.
Yeah.
How much did Bacon Squash pay to say that?
I can't disclose that. I can't disclose that at all.
So talking about, I mean, you obviously live here with a few other of our mates.
Yes.
So it's a shared rental.
Mm-hmm.
I saw online a advertisement for a rental posted on Facebook from someone in Canberra.
Okay.
And
was that on one of those like rental like those pages?
Yeah, I didn't like the page, but just happened to come across it.
Yeah.
And this is directly quoted from, this is what the advertisement was.
Okay.
Hi, I want to try a mode of renting and see if I can find someone interested. I would like to rent out a sofa bed or a double mattress to your choice in our living room. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom old apartment in Belconnen, Canberra.
Mm-hmm.
The whole place is taken, so are the bedrooms. You'll be sharing the space with a girl in one bedroom and a couple in another bedroom. The place is fully furnished with everything you need, including on-site parking.
I'm so glad they included the on-site parking in that.
The rent will be $115 a week. Bill inclusive.
Yeah.
And if you can vacuum the living room once a week, discounted to $105.
So it's $10 off if you vacuum where you're sleeping once a week. Okay.
The space is spacious, but I hope you have minimum belongings since you'll be staying in the lounge room. I only want to try it for short term for up to 4 weeks to see if it has potential to be developed into an Airbnb listing. DM me if you're interested.
Okay. So I've got a question.
Right.
Is the vacuum included? So they want someone to pay $115 to sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
Whereas
in a communal area as well.
So you get woken up all the time.
Oh yeah.
And you could stay in a hostel for what, like $30 a night?
Well, they said, like in a later post, in a reply to some of the comments, the person posted it references that one of them works from home.
Yeah. Oh. So you just have people all the time.
Yeah, like, at a, in quotations, workstation in the living room, and the couple enjoys listening to their funky tunes on their new speakers in the living room. So you've just got...
This is a joke, right?
You know, it's not
surely a joke.
It's totally legitimate.
Did you get photos of the place?
Yeah.
What does it look like?
Oh, tiny, man. Tiny.
Wow. Would you stay there?
Oh, no. Would you rent out a space in your bedroom?
No. No. I wouldn't rent a space out in our lounge room.
Yeah. And it'd just be too awkward, like...
Imagine having no privacy at all.
Yeah.
Like, and your stuff... Imagine how messy it would be, because... What, does he pack up his bed every day? Or does he just leave it out on the floor? How old? Do you know how old the person was?
No, I don't.
Surely they're going to be like uni people,
yeah,
right?
For sure. Well, I've heard that's pretty extreme. And I've even heard in Melbourne.
Yeah.
People are renting out their balconies.
For sleeping on?
Sleeping on.
What? Okay, how... I feel like... What would you pay? Let's say you're doing a road trip.
Mm-hmm.
And... For some reason, all of a sudden, all the places in Canberra are booked out.
Right.
You're on your own, and you've just got to stay here at night. You've been driving for so long, you just need to rest your head. You rest your weary eyes. How long would you stay there?
Because sleeping in your car is for some reason not an option.
What would you? Yeah, it's not an option. What would you pay?
I wouldn't pay any more than $50, and that's a lot.
That's pushing it for a couch on the.
You're not going to get your full 8 hours sleep anyway.
Yeah. I reckon I wouldn't go more than 40. I think I'd sleep in the car, even if I had to sleep upright, because there's no room in the car or something. How's your Dainton brewery going, Trent?
I am liking it. I'm still struggling to find the orange flavour.
There's no blood orange.
No, there's not.
And I can't pronounce the word at the bottom.
Well, I think that's just an abbreviation of North England IPA.
Not
NEPA. I mean, to those who have been to Bali... they may have had a Bintang Radler.
Bintang Radler. Is that a side?
So it's a beer, like it's Bintang, but it's got a flavour mixed into it.
Okay.
So years ago they used to have lemon, I think, and blood orange. Now they think they only do lemon.
Okay.
But
a lemony beer.
Yeah.
Have you had it?
Nice.
Yeah?
Okay. Doesn't taste like beer. It's like that mango beer we were having.
Where it's not fully like, okay.
So that was strong in Blood Orange. That's what I expected this to be.
Yeah, right.
But,
well,
look, I'm still enjoying it.
Props to Dainton for appearing twice on the podcast.
I know, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. So, also, Trent, this week, Zack Snyder, the director,
he
brought out his cut of Justice League.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
I haven't watched it.
Because I know you're a Batman fan. You are
old Batman.
I've seen you dabble in Batman a few times. So he brought out his Justice League cut.
That's right.
It goes for 4 hours,
which is long.
And originally it was going to come out as episodes, and I think it was going to come out as 6 episodes.
As in 6 movies or 6 TV episodes?
Like because it's made for HBO.
Okay.
And he was going to just release them all at once, but you watch it in episodes. But instead, they've sort of recommended you either watch it by the chapters.
Right.
Or you just binge it and watch it for 4 hours. Okay. I couldn't sit. Johnny and I watched it together. It took us 3 sittings.
Right.
Nick watched it in 1 4-hour sitting. But it was interesting because they basically, what happened was Zack Snyder shot half of Justice League.
Right.
He'd almost done it. Like almost finished it, over half. And then his daughter died.
Right.
So he said, I need to stop making this. And Warner Brothers, there was a big thing where he claims he got fired.
Right.
So then they got this other director to come in, reshoot stuff, and it's the director of the original Avengers. Right. So he came in, reshot stuff, and at that point was the time Henry Cavill, who plays Superman, had a mustache.
That's right. Yeah.
So they had to do this crappy CG mustace. You would have seen it.
I've seen that in CGI. Yeah.
Apparently as well, that's one of the most expensive mustaches in history. Just a little fun fact for you. So, but anyway, basically, Zack Snyder had this dream vision that just never got made because this new guy came in and the studios interfered.
Yeah.
So this cut is it's like giving someone full control. It's rated R, and it's his own vision of what he wanted to be. And
but he wasn't there the whole time, though.
No, he doesn't use any of the other footage. He used just his footage.
But I thought he filmed half of the movie.
Well, they spent, I think, 30 or 40 mil on stuff for this movie, so I don't know if they've added to that.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. He must have been really far through finishing it because it's such a different movie watching it.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good. Gee. And I wasn't a big fan of. I'm not a huge. I wouldn't say I'm a superhero fanboy. And the other one was. I thought it was fine. It was a bit very forgettable, but this one was actually really good. It stuck out, and it had a bunch of new stuff that I've never seen with it, and I'd highly recommend it.
So they actually refilmed scenes.
I don't know if they refilmed. I don't know. I have to look into that more. Yeah. But it felt like a different movie.
Yeah.
And it was weird. Because you see director's cuts, usually they're just longer.
Yeah.
This was he didn't touch a single thing the other guy had done. And it was, you could tell. He was he just doesn't.
And it was released in 4:3, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's like you're watching it on a TV screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really good. I'd recommend it. End segment.
Lauren and I, we have a board. It's currently hanging on our fridge.
Yeah.
And that board's like a weekly planner for our meals.
Yeah. That's smart.
It is smart, but it saves us a bit of money. But the thing is, sometimes we'd put a meal on there.
Yeah.
That would last us more than 2 days.
So you backlog it.
So we backlog the other. So I guess where I'm getting at with this is, say, quite often we'd cook a pasta bake. But that would last us because you make such a big batch of it.
In a casserole thing
as well. That's right, and there's only 2 of us. It would last us a really long time.
Yeah.
We could be eating it for lunch for a week or something.
Yeah.
Which you can sometimes get a bit sick of it, having the same meal every day.
Yeah. Spice it up a bit.
Yeah, so that led me to this question that I want to ask you.
Okay.
If you could only eat one country's cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay. So country's cuisine.
Yeah.
My heart says go Italian.
Yeah.
But I've never been to Italy.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of people not like proper Italian food. We don't really have it here.
Nah.
We have
just got the basic pasta dishes and...
Yeah. But people go over there and they'll be like, oh, this this carbonara didn't taste like what I thought it would. Or like the pizzas are different.
The pizzas, yeah.
So that kind of puts me off Italian. I'd probably maybe make it Asian as a cuisine, or do I need to narrow it down to a country?
Oh, you'd have to narrow it to a country, because you got Japanese cuisine, you've got
Chinese
Thai
cuisine.
They're very different. Thai.
I'd probably go Thai food would be up there.
Really?
American, you would just be so unhealthy.
Yeah, I mean, what we're talking burgers, we're talking hot dogs.
Fried, anything fried. Yeah. Anything that's... Have you heard of a bloomin' onion? Bloomin' onion.
Bloomin' onion.
So it's they sell it at what's their Outback Steakhouse, which is like a Australian franchise place in America.
Right.
And it's like you get a whole onion and you cut around it so it blossoms out like a flower.
Right.
And they throw it in a deep fryer in batter and flour.
What a surprise.
Deep fry it. And it's just the most atrocious thing you could ever see. We don't even have an Outback Steakhouse here. I don't.
No.
Yeah. Well, that's their version of like Australian food.
What's the weirdest... Like, do you have a weirdest thing that you've eaten that's been deep fried?
Weirdest thing. I don't know if I could say weird. I saw something this week that was pretty cool that I want to try deep fried.
Right.
So you get like a dough of pizza,
right.
like a pizza dough. You roll it out, and then they put like Nutella over it, and then ball it back up and deep fry it. It just looked really young. So I'd try that. I don't know. Yeah. What about you? Have you had a weird...
I think mine was quite a few years ago. I was at a friend's place, and his dad got out the deep fryer.
Yeah.
And chucked a cauliflower in there.
And deep fried it?
Deep fried the cauliflower.
Did you try it?
It was great.
Yeah, it would have been good.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like anything deep fried.
That's true. So, I mean, I guess if you want my take on what I would have for the rest of my life, I did initially go the same route as you and say, thought of Italian.
Yeah.
But then I thought, nah. And then I thought about French food. But then, I thought, they eat snails.
They do.
They eat frog legs.
How much of it are you going to want regularly as well? Like, you got to go to work and stuff. Are you going to want to have, like, fancy gourmet snails for dinner or breakfast or whatever?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind Mexican. I feel like
Mexican would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all very the same, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you think Australian cuisine is? Do we have a cuisine? Apart from one dish that is a Parma.
Look, I'm going to be a bit out there.
Right.
I've got a theory what Australian cuisine is.
Okay.
Because I don't think we know what it is yet.
No.
I think, when you go and you get crappy pizza from just not crappy, but like, you're not going to go to a nice, Italian fancy dress place.
Yeah, you're just going to
Let's say you just go to takeaway pizza. I reckon that is Australian cuisine. Or chicken parmas, or the pub, or I feel like that we have that we don't.
I feel like pub feeds though are very English as well.
But then you've got kebabs, Yeah, I guess, but we are kind of.
I don't think we have our own thing.
I don't think we have our own full thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like the stuff that we don't think about that we love is our thing. Our version of Chinese food or our version of Italian food or that sort of thing. So, but I don't know. I feel like that would be my closest thing.
Yeah, for sure.
When you go out, let's say you go out for brekkie or dinner or something, are you a regular at any place?
I am not. No.
So when you go, do the staff go, "Oh, hey, welcome back," or that sort of? You're not at any place.
No, I don't think so.
Have you ever been? Do you think?
No, I'd like to be though.
I'd like
to have that acknowledgement of coming to the shoulder and being like, "Hey, you again,"
So it happened to me the other day.
Actually, I feel like the most regular place I go is Laneway. In Dramana.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone would remember.
They're not like, Trent, welcome back. No. We've got your favourite spot right here. Kick off people that are sitting there. Well, it happened to me on the weekend.
Right.
And it happened somewhere I didn't expect it to.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't know. I feel like it made it more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because the guy, when we walk into the cafe, and he's like, of course we're gonna something for our regular. He said something off the cuff about regular, and I was like, okay. And he kept up with it while he sat us down.
Yeah, okay. So
he's like, then we he's like, go sit outside. There's 2 spots, and there was one in the sun, and then there was one in the shade that had plates on it. So we just moved the plates. And he comes in, he's like, of course the regulars would move around the plates and sit where they wanted. And he kept up with the thing, and it made it uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and it made me. I don't know.
Did at any point you question his legitimacy in his claims that you
I've
were a
seen him
regular.
there a few times.
Right.
But I wouldn't say
Because he could treat every customer like they're a regular, right?
It could be from wherever. My favourite regulars. But I just feel like it's a bit uneasy. I don't know. So you want to be a regular somewhere?
I would love to be a regular
We could work. Maybe this year you can be a regular.
Yeah.
Laneway.
Let's make it happen.
Yes. Let's just keep going to Laneway until they recognise you. Well, we should probably wrap things up soon anyway. I know this void of Dan being absent has been quite tolling on everyone. So what would you give Dainton Brewery Blood Orange? Any IPA?
Yeah, look, it was nice.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you in the fact I think it's a bit better than Jungle Juice.
Not as good a can though.
No.
The Jungle Juice can had the little hops
Had the look.
in the jungle having
But
a
you can't have everything, Kyle.
No.
You can't have everything.
No one can.
So what they lack in can design, they make up in flavour.
Mm-hmm.
I would, out of the official Bev Buds rating of 13,
yeah.
thumbs up. I would give it probably around a 9 thumbs up. I'd say.
Yeah, look,
9.5 pushing it.
I hate to be boring, but I'm going to say 9 as well. But
Where's Dan when you need him to give
Dan
them
will give
a 3?
negative 3. And I'm determined for next week to not have a pale ale. Well, it's an IPA, so it's different. But, well, there you go. Is there anything else we should cover, Trent?
Don't believe so. Apart from this little note that I have written down on my podcast notes.
Yeah.
Instagram accounts for dogs. Yes or no?
No. If I get invited to one, I'm not going to accept it.
Absolutely not. Like,
No.
why? They're weird, right?
They are.
Especially the ones that act like the dogs posting the photos. Here's me out in the backyard.
I had such a fun time at the park. No, I don't have time for that. You?
No.
I know people love them. I know people do love them.
So we may have lost a few listeners.
Probably. Unless we start an Instagram page for beers. And pretend that the beer is posting the post.
So wrapping up, I guess, as always, take care. Oh no.
And good nights. As Daniel
would
quote the
say.
late Daniel Dempsey Gray.